Anger Vice is a very offensive-minded character. She's very similar to Iori in that she just wants to knock you down once and then try to keep momentum for the rest of the match. So, whereas Iori attacks with safely with roll cancel Rekkas and it goes for the throw when he's feeling risky, Vice is the opposite in that she goes for roll cancel throw every time. Oh, when she wants to be safe, and then mix it up with those shorts when she wants to be risky. The cool thing about this mix-up is by doing roll cancel throw over and over, you force the opponent to respond by trying to throw you back, which is really the only real counter to it. If they jump straight up, you whiff the grab and they get the low fierce anyway. If they jump back, they kind of get out of it, but that gets beat by their shorts anyway. But so the only real counter to roll cancel grab is to throw it or to do some big invincible super that stays in place for long enough. So since they have to press a button, they're committed to attack more, which makes it easier for you to get counter hit combos that I can't do apparently. There we go. Like that. So generally the objective with her is just to get up close so you can do this nonsense. Whoops. Unlike most characters with Vice, you prefer them to be in the middle of the screen, because when they're in the middle of the screen, that lets you tack on that last extra hit there for more damage. Whereas when they're in the corner, you can't do that. It's possible to get targeting that as the last hit of a jungle, but you don't want to do that because you're probably going to mess up. It's barely any damage, and you're probably losing all the wake-up game you have. A nice thing is if they're in the corner and they get with an uppercut or something, you get under them and then come with them back into the corner. If you're two-player Vice, anytime you hit with this combo in the corner, you get the cross the butt, which sets up the whole thing again. When you're doing the two-player cross-up setups and you want to mix it with a throw, I recommend doing this throw because it takes it to the other corner. Even though you can't roll cancel that throw technically. Other than that, that's the only real use I have for that throw. It does a little more damage than this little power bomb here, but yeah. The ability to roll cancel this throw makes it like 100 times better. The range on this throw is pretty small though. Like, you get it after one jab, and that's the extent of the range. But she does run fast, and it does give her just enough time to run up and set up again. Mid-screen, after hitting this combo, if they're in a tech roll groove, you cover their tech roll with this, and if that hits, then you get this again, and then the whole situation's set up again. If they're not in a tech roll groove, just run forward a little bit and jump. You get a really good cross-up, which sets up this again, and if they block it, you know all the stuff you can do from there. The hard part with Vice is getting in. The scrubby way to do it is from far range, try to get them to stand up and hit them with that. That is just as risky as throwing a fireball, and it's even worse than a fireball in that like random moves can beat that move, like a low strong or an uppercut or something like that. But it's a lot higher reward than a fireball because if you get it, you're in. Also, if you get that move into the corner, you also get two-player crossover. Her main ground moves are, if the character is big enough, standing strong. This move beats all kinds of stuff. It actually does a lot of damage too. Like, it does like 1100 or something like that, which is a lot for a strong. And it reaches far, and unfortunately, you can't cancel it into anything. You can't do like stand strong shoulder. Well, strange, you can't. It doesn't even cancel. And a lot of characters can crouch under it. For those that can't crouch under it, standing forward is your move. Again, you're not going to rock the world by doing this move. You're just handle your own on the ground, get them to stick press less buttons, so eventually you'll be able to throw in your run or lower jump or whatever. Obviously, wherever you can, you want to look for opportunities to sweep them or roll catch a shoulder them. Roll catch a shoulder is a really powerful move in that it will counter almost anything that you're looking for if you can react to it and distance it right. Like the common defense for a lot of people is just jump up and down. Roll catch a shoulder beats that. And like fireballs, roll catch a shoulder through them. If they're fast enough, they whip a pretty big move. You can roll catch a shoulder that also. I would recommend that though. But yeah, an important thing to remember is not to overuse this move. It very much will get you killed. Same with random shoulders; they will also get you killed. You want to be patient and poke around with this moves, and look for your opportunity to run in, and then start your offense. Which reminds me, running jabs twice was good because if one counter hits, sweep links easily afterwards. I wouldn't need a counter hit and I got the combo. Or if you're close enough, you can confirm to do that. And anywhere in there, you can mix up the roll catch grab also, which will kind of make them have to press buttons, which will